Biodiversity. Source, BBC, WWF. By visualgk.com. What is biodiversity? Biodiversity comes from two words: bio, meaning life, and diversity, meaning variability. Biodiversity is the variety of all living things. The different plants, animals and microorganisms, the genetic information they contain, and the ecosystems they form. Animals and plants provide humans with everything needed to survive, including fresh water, food, and medicines. However, we cannot get these benefits from individual species. We need a variety of animals and plants to be able to work together and thrive. In other words, we need biodiversity. Why is biodiversity important? We value biodiversity for many reasons, some utilitarian, some intrinsic. Utilitarian values include the many basic needs humans obtain from biodiversity, such as food, fuel, shelter, and medicine. Further, ecosystems provide crucial services, such as pollination, seed dispersal, climate regulation, water purification, nutrient cycling, and control of agricultural pests. Biodiversity also holds value for potential benefits, not yet recognized, such as new medicines, and other possible unknown services. It has cultural value to humans as well. The intrinsic value of biodiversity refers to its inherent worth, which is independent of its value to anyone, or anything else. This is more of a philosophical concept, which can be thought of as the inalienable right to exist. Finally, the value of biodiversity can also be understood through the lens of the relationships we form and strive for with each other and the rest of nature. These relational values are part of people's individual, or collective sense of well-being, responsibility for, and connection with the environment. Diversity. It is estimated that there are 13.6 million species of plants, animals and microorganisms on Earth. Megadiversity describes countries with very high levels of biodiversity. 12 of the megadiverse countries contain about 75% of Earth's total biodiversity. Megadiverse countries include Australia, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Mexico, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Madagascar, China, India, Indonesia, and Malaysia. What are the biggest threats to biodiversity? In 2019, a UN report said that harvesting, logging, hunting and fishing had all had an impact. Between 2001 and 2020, the world lost 411 million hectares of tree cover, 16% of which was primary forest. These are very mature forests, which have taken hundreds, if not thousands, of years to develop. The destruction of these rich environments can have a very serious impact on biodiversity. How many species are at risk of extinction? It is normal for species to evolve and become extinct over time. 98% of all species that have ever lived are now extinct. However, the extinction of species is now happening between 1,000 and 10,000 times more quickly than expected. The International Union for Conservation of Nature has kept a red list of threatened species since 1964. More than 142,000 species have been assessed, and 29% are considered endangered, which means they have a very high risk of extinction. One in 4 species are at risk of extinction. Species assessed by the IUCN Red List. Biodiversity and human health. Human health ultimately depends upon ecosystem products and services, such as availability of fresh water, food and fuel sources, which are requisite for good human health and productive livelihoods. Biodiversity loss can have significant direct human health impacts if ecosystem services are no longer adequate to meet social needs. Also, significant medical and pharmacological discoveries are made through greater understanding of the Earth's biodiversity. Loss in biodiversity may limit discovery of potential treatments for many diseases and health problems. Is biodiversity a greater threat to humanity than climate change? Yes. Nothing on Earth is experiencing more dramatic change at the hands of human activity. Changes to the climate are reversible, even if that takes centuries or millennia. But once species become extinct, particularly those unknown to science, there's no going back. At the moment, we don't know how much biodiversity the planet can lose without prompting widespread ecological collapse. But one approach has assessed so-called planetary boundaries, thresholds in Earth systems, that define a safe operating space for humanity. Of the 9 considered, just biodiversity loss and nitrogen pollution are estimated to have been crossed, unlike CO2 levels, fresh water used, and ozone losses. Plan to restore biodiversity. Land. Protect wild areas. Farming. Make better for nature. Cities. Make space for nature. Oceans. Protect marine habitats. Water. Safeguard our rivers for wildlife. Climate. Reduce impacts of climate change. Food. Plant-based diet. Reduce waste. One Health. Manage whole environments to aid health. Please like, share and subscribe. visualgk.com